What's going on, everybody? My name is Tom here, and today we're going to showcase on how to drive manual smoothly in a 2022 Honda Civic. This video is not meant for new drivers, but rather to those who would like to drive manual a little bit more smoothly as I throw more tips and trips going home from work. So if you want to drive a little bit more smarter, a little bit more smoothly in everyday traffic, you are in the right place. Please do note there's going to be pop quizzes throughout the video just so that you can make better decisions when you are shifting and driving in traffic, because driving manual is basically thinking forward and making the correct decisions if you want to drive smoothly and safely. So this video will apply to most manual cars, and just to note, I have turned off auto ref matching on this vehicle so that it actually applies to most vehicle out there. So enjoy the rest of the video while I showcase the car for now before we cut into actual driving. Alright, setting off in traffic here. I am in third gear. I am approaching a stop. We have a couple options to do here to drive smoothly. So I'm gonna pop up the quizzes now. What is the best way to stop in this situation? We have A, downshift and roll to a stop, B, neutral and roll to a stop. Now there are obviously benefits on both sides, but the correct answer here is B, neutral and roll to a stop. Downshifting would definitely help you brake in that situation there, but depending on the speed right then and there, it would be smarter to be neutral and roll to a stop for smoother driving, even though yes, you are using more of your brakes, but at that speed, you are better off just putting it in neutral and rolling it to the stop. Obviously, this doesn't, or it shouldn't stop you from downshifting, because you know downshifting is good and it is satisfying. In that case, sometimes it's better just to be lazy just so that you could enjoy your commute a little bit more. But sometimes, in the other cases, I do agree downshifting is beneficial, and one of those situations that are beneficial here is approaching us and we're going to see traffic ahead. So within this case, we know there is going to be stopping ahead of us. We could plan ahead and downshift just so that it could assist us to braking rather than using the brakes. With downshifting, one thing you would note as you go and drive manuals for a couple years, it's always good to plan ahead. So in this situation, unlike last time, we have time to anticipate and plan. So we know there's going to be a stop. Why don't we just shift or downshift, to help us look cooler, for number one, for real. Number two is to help us with braking. And as you go on this video, I will be talking about a lot of things, but they will all go back down to one principle of planning ahead and preparations. So as you can see here, I saw that it was going to be my turn soon. Rather than putting back it in neutral, I just left it in first gear and set off as I go. Some people may say holding the clutch for a certain amount of period of time may be detrimental for your transmission, but it is okay for a certain period of time, but not too long. So we're just going to be cruising just for a little bit. I am just staying in fifth gear. You could find the best optimal gear as you go. It is hard to tell, but it is based on feel. But facing this situation here, so going back to my point, we are downshifting here because we see traffic crossing in the cross section here. And it is good to be in the optimal gear just so that you could maneuver around. For example, I downshifted into third to have enough torque to turn right here, but at this moment here, we thought ahead to downshift to turn right to have enough torque to go at lower speeds, but we are going to lower speeds that might not have enough torque to pull us through this corner. So we are in third and we are very slow. We have two options. A is to attempt to downshift into second from third. B is to keep it in third current gear, or we could slip the clutch into second. The very correct answer here is attempt to downshift into second so that you could ensure a lot of smoothness into your second gear. But the other option I've left here is to also slip the clutch into second because we are at low RPMs. Downshifting wouldn't cause a smoother shift. Rather, it might potentially, in more cases than you think, cause you to jerk more when you are at low RPMs driving. So I believe I was around 1,000 to 1,500 there. A better choice might have been to slip into second there, because it would have been just in the same RPM range. Rather than downshifting to get it to, let's say, 2,000, 2,500, where it have to go back down into 10s or 15s. It is all depending on your car, but in most cases, or in my case, in this example here, it is best just to slip it into second. There might be damage to the clutch, but hundreds of RPMs shouldn't be that much. So back to our driving here, you can see me, I downshift there at the top of the hill. Sometimes it's probably better to do it at the bottom, but I had enough speed, I had enough torque. But in other cases where you are at higher gears and you're about to climb a hill, it is probably better to downshift until you have enough torque, so that you could be in the correct gear and you are at a higher RPM. One thing I've learned about owning a turbo car, you don't want to try to push the car and gain speed at low RPMs but high boost, because you are putting unnecessary pressure onto the engine, and it is best, I'm not quite sure why, but it is best to downshift to get into the higher RPM range, to have the torque both from the engine and the turbo once it hits to climb that hill. So I didn't do a pop quiz step because this is something quite crucial. So we are just as a stoplight right now, and sometimes we are staying in neutral, and all of a sudden we have to put it in first gear and go. So here is my question to you. So to help you prepare and stay in first gear at the optimal time so that nobody around you or behind you honks at you when you doubling around to get in first gear, what are the signs around you that could help you know to put in first gear? We have A here, B, and C. The correct answer is all of the above, as these are the signs that would help you to understand when to put in first gear rather than holding into first gear in all the time. So keep an eye out for those signs. Let's say if you could see the red light on the other side of the traffic, you could put it in when it is yellow, or if the traffic's in front of you or a little bit ahead of you is starting to move, you could put it in first gear rather than keep on holding that clutch. You could see me downshifting there because I am seeing, or you could be anticipating as well, that there is going to be a red light, but you can see me here trying to predict that the green is going to pop up soon by putting in third, trying to roll the engine into third and second, but I couldn't, so I just started in first there. So while this Chrysler makes a cut on me and I go off the line for whatever reason, I have a pop quiz for you. We are going downhill in fourth gear at speed limit and the engine is helping me brake. Should I shift at all? So we got simply just A here as yes, B being no, and the hypothetical C is to downshift into third. Give it a thought. The correct answer is probably it depends. So if in this situation it's helping me staying at the speed limit at fourth gear, it is probably good to do fourth anyways, just because I am staying at the speed limit. But if this red light were to be a lot closer, yes, you would downshift as usual. But in that case, you don't have to shift up to fifth because that would just make you roll faster at a higher speed to go over the speed limit. But by staying at 4 and remaining around that range, you are okay just doing nothing at all. So sometimes it's better enough to do nothing. As you could see there, I downshifted to third, not because I saw the light, but I saw traffic was slowing down and it would be better to be in the optimal gear if it were to be slowing down more so I could have speed or resistance to stop. Or if it were to go faster, I would have enough torque to push myself through rather than being in fourth gear. So that really wraps up all the questions that I have or insights I have for you guys for today. I'm sure some people would say that I'm not a good driver, and I'm probably not. This is just my insights or my experience, what I've learned from driving manual for 2-3 years. Probably not a long time, but the people in the comments would help you there. So feel free to subscribe, like if you like the content. This is my 2022 Honda Civic SI. Probably gonna be doing autocrossing or tracking soon in this car because I do love how it handles with the LSD at the front. So please do those if you want to see more content. Yeah, I hope this video was insightful for someone. If you do, you know what to do, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.